Hi, darlings. I just completed a most spectacular, soulful, deep, vast podcast recording with one of my beloveds, Ronnie Landis, who I dear, dear, dear friend for many years, and I'm going to be sharing this transmission with you all soon. I'm ecstatic to share it with you because it's just simply profound and is laced with decadent divine clarity that will liberate you on the deepest, widest levels. And so while I'm in the stream of this, I felt compelled to sculpt a video and to share the art of lovemaking with life, the art of romancing our reality. So in this talk, we explored the nuances of the human mind and the human heart and how we live and navigate and really come fully alive in this experience. And we were looking at some of the dramas that are playing out on the world stage right now and some of the dramas, the self constructed self-fulfilling prophecies that we weave in our lives with our mind, and how it can be easy to enter these loops, right, of thinking, of of narratives, of novels, of stories, of attempting to reach into time. So we divert our awareness through the mind that is not fully focalized in the here and now, present in the space of the high powered, undivided heart, undivided attention in the here and now, which is where all of our aliveness and power resides in this present moment. What is it that causes us to divert our awareness and our attention in the ways that we do, right? Where many beautiful holy beings are walking through life halfway online, halfway on board. And this impacts everything in our lives. It impacts the quality of how we are relating with life, and therefore the quality of our relationships, of our health, of our creations, all of this, because quality is the fullness of our high powered heart presence on board, online, here and now. Attention focalized into the present moment and engaging the luscious dance and romance of life with our own divinity. And so the mind, typically when it's focalized on people, places, things, experiences, and even, we spoke into constructing can or sand castles in our awareness of what we think that we want, of what we believe that we want, that is going to satisfy us, fulfill us in this life. So we we future project visions and ideas. And how many of you watching this video right now have ever had any, even in the realm of practicing the art of manifestation, which we're going to dive into what this actually is in a moment, have ever manifested with precision any one of those visionary projections that you've sculpted in your mind? Has your life ever actually unfolded in that exact way? And the answer is no. And what is the reason for that? Because the mind isn't what is actually not I'm speaking to the human mind, not the pervasive divine mind here, but the human, which, just for elaboration for this brief moment, the divine mind that is encompassing of the field itself includes the intelligence of the somatic body, of the heart, of felt resonance in our body. It's an inclusionary, pure intelligence, which is different from the thinking mind. And so the mind grasps onto these narratives, these belief constructs, uh, these programs, these idyllic visionary realities, because it's seeking safety, comfort, stability, aliveness, empowerment, pleasure, joy. And it's utilizing this beautiful, holy, powerful brain that we have that can be our greatest ally or our greatest adversary. And contingent upon whether or not it's following the leadership of the heart, or if we're utilizing it from a space of that's not fully coherent and connected to the heart space, and we're utilizing it It is an attempt to predict. So we're placing our mind, our awareness, our attention in time in an attempt to create safety, whether we recognize that this is what we are doing or not, to ensure our safety, our security, our stability, our joy, our happiness, our aliveness. And so we divert our attention in time, where all of our power and majesty to unfold our supreme destiny timeline is in our richly, voluptuously embodied romance and union with life here and now, with the pure divine consciousness expressing and reflecting and presenting through all things with our own almighty magnificence. That depth of presence and engagement, that quality of timeless being that's interactive, it's passionate, it's sumptuous, we're fully online, right? It's not a passive, detached space of I'm aware of being enlightened, but I'm not actually participating with life. This is an engaged creationary space. And so we draw, and this is how we give our power away. We give our power away by diverting it in time. We drain ourselves because we're diverting our energy, our attention, our awareness, our power. And it doesn't actually even have anything to do with the things, the circumstances, the people that we're focusing on, because sometimes we can make that association. Has nothing to do with those things. It has to do with where our mind is going. And that is alerting us to recognize that wherever we most frequently become distracted from the present moment, being fully online lit, on board here and now, it's alerting us to, I have placed my power in my idea of this thing, of this circumstance, of this person, because that is where I'm seeking my safety, my self-fulfillment, my wholeness, my sense of security, and really the completion of me. So we attempt to complete ourselves through our creation. And so when we bring our full presence and awareness and attention back into really engaging the now, really being fully present to the beauty and the love and the splendor of life that we are and that is before us, we begin to unfold our supreme divinity, because we are manifesting not what we think, not what we think that we want. We are manifesting who we are being. And so, again, the most valuable thing for us to focus on is, who am I being in my engagement with life in every here and now? And to return to the awareness that none of our exact visions and dreams and our lists and our idyllic versions of reality have ever come to pass fully or precisely in the way that we envisioned or thought that they would, or hoped that they would, because it's our core resonance that is unfolding our life legend, our love novel in this moment. It's not the mind that's actually the creative power. The heart includes its own brain and is 50,000 times more powerful than the human brain and the mind. And neuroscience has shown us that flow states of pure luminous awareness transcend neural firing in the human brain. So any kind of a narrative or a novel that we have that's happening solely in the mind space is likely not going to crystallize itself as such, because it's our embodied resonance and love of life in the now that's actually unfolding the storyline. And so this is why enlightenment, embodied enlightenment, is the ultimate resolution to everything and the ultimate creative act for unfolding our destiny, because we're unfolding ourselves. We are the creation of us. We are quite literally saturated in a world of our being. And what we deeply desire is to feel and experience and know and resonate and interact with ourselves as the embodiment of our supreme being. The love, the romance, the prosperity, the stunning soulful relationships, the exquisite legacy and artistry that we craft and sculpt in this world, all of the things that we desire, those idyllic visions, are in direct aligned accord with the truth of who we are. And what we're actually desiring is to be who we are, because even in the construction of these visions, in these creations, and these manifestations, if we're not being who we are, those things cannot fulfill us. Even if they were to come to full fruition, we wouldn't even be able to feel them or appreciate them or see and recognize and celebrate them fully, because we're not resonating in alignment with our true being. However, when we come into the fulfillment of knowing, feeling, being, resonating the truth of who we are, we become the fulfillment and the attainment of all desire that unfolds those idyllic visions and more. What we unfold begins to exceed all of our expectations and what our mind is even capable of conceiving or constructing. And that's what we all actually want. We want our creation to exceed our expectations. We want it to. That, like, at the core, we want to feel. Our desire is to feel and be the fullness of us. We are the fulfillment of our desire. And when we feel this way and we're being this love and we're being our almighty radiance and benevolence and goodwill and kindness and all of this, we just feel so good. And then we're engaging with life in this way. We're operating in present moment divine union with all life. And this is the pinnacle space to operate from. The only space, that's a bold statement, and that is my depth of certainty and knowing around this. The only space where we unfold the super miraculous destiny that we are born to live and experience in this life. And it requires our devout presence, knowing and being the truth of who we are in this moment, and engaging the source light, the divine spark, the love of who and what all life is. And even if this is a romance with our body in a present moment, we find ourselves in solitude, we're meditating, reminding ourselves of who we are, we're loving ourselves, we're cherishing ourselves, we're cherishing our beautiful holy belongings in our home temple, and the beautiful nutritious food that is blessing our body with divine light, intelligence, and vibrance and vitality. We're loving one another as love loves us. We are loving one another as expressions of our own self. This is the pinnacle of manifestation. We are being the creator and the creation at once, and we are unfolding in holy communion with our own being. And love is the most powerful, prolific, generative force in all existence, the most creative, prolific power that there is. With love, all things are possible. When we be this love and we are the fulfillment of self, it is natural for us to engage in this romance, in this savory of all life, and to exude this and extend this grace and this love and this care and this kindness to all other aspects of existence and creations as expressions of the one self that we are. And as we stay present in this dance, in this super sumptuous, joyous, eternal, everlasting, timelessly unfolding honeymoon, we unfold the reality that we are destined for, that is beyond our comprehension. Ah, so spectacular and beautiful and gorgeous and divine. And when we're enlightened and embodied in our God essence, because our being is molding and shaping and sculpting our world, it resolves all things. The mind doesn't have to reach into time anymore out of worry or concern or fear or resistance or separation or lack or not enoughness, all these things that we get into in our beautiful holy minds, just trying to keep us safe. And that's the innocence of it. Just trying to keep us safe. But what it's actually doing is diverting us from our destiny. And I don't often utilize this word, but it's ultimate self-sabotage when we do this to ourselves. return home to being the source and the self, and it not only unfolds that idyllic, visionary, projective, glorious sandcastle, it is the mansion of heaven that exceeds what we could, any sandcastle we could have constructed in this mind. It is the glory and the magnificence and the heavenly miracle of our being unfolding itself and presenting itself in all forms, in all forms. I've been profoundly blessed. Okay, I've had a full spectrum life experience. Many of you who have been with me for years know this. I know what it's like to not know where my next meal and shelter is coming from, to living in a tiny house in the middle of the forest, going through Kundalini awakening all by myself, to being saturated in some of the most historical, monumental, super luxuriant homes on the face of this planet, handed to me, gifted, not handed to me, as a byproduct of me being love, finding myself immersed in exorbitant beauty and wealth and luxury. And all of this has arisen from the space of my holy heart temple. Couldn't have even fathomed some of the homes and the mansions that I've lived in, the life adventures that I've been so blessed to partake in. The love of you all. I mean, glorious goodness, look at our community. Every single one of you are some of the most kind, caring, heavenly, pure, powerful, remarkable beings that I know. I would actually be as bold to say that we have one of the most divinely resonant, loving communities in this world. And we're all coming together in this space for a reason. And it's the frequency of the divine heart that draws us here to be with one another. It's so sacred and so precious and so beautiful and fun. And I love you all so incredibly much, so much. And so just this is a holy reminder to always return to the power and the potency of your undivided, high-powered, luscious, lavish, delicious, vibrant heart in every here and now, and to engage the romance of life timelessly. There's no reason to divert our attention. That is actually what is causing the fragmentation and the discord and the issues in our lives. Fully on board, here and now. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear because your ultimate reality will unfold itself. You don't have to reach into time to attempt to construct what that is to as reassurance for yourself. You can trust yourself to be that love in full engagement with love in this here and now, and know with impeccable certainty that that unto itself will unfold a reality of the most spectacular essence in nature that you could possibly even begin to fathom. Trusting the now, being present to the now, not being afraid to release your bondage to time, your attachment to time, and all the places the mind wanders. It doesn't matter what exactly that looks like. We all have different things and circumstances that can distract and divert our attention. It's just being aware that that's where the mind is attempting to find its safety. It's safe to be fully here and now, and to trust and to know, and to put your full faith and certainty that the love that you are being will and absolutely must unfold the most novel, exquisite, stunning, rich, nourishing, warm, holy, divine masterpiece of a life story that you could ever wish for. Okay, my darlings, I love and appreciate you so much. I'm stoked to share this transmission with you when it comes out. It's just, it's so rich and nuanced and beautiful, and I'm honored to gift it to you all. And we shall convene and sorry again soon. I love you. Mwah.